Well, Cardinals fans, it is shaping up to be a long season, isn't it? All right, so here are my 5 observations from the Cardinals' 20-12 loss to the Los Angeles Rams. First is, although the defense did make a couple nice plays, they did not play particularly well. Yes, they had a few stops here and there. They had that nice fumble recovery late in the game. And yes, the Rams only scored 20 points. Matthew Stafford didn't throw any touchdowns. They didn't blow out the Cardinals in terms of offensive output, but they were only a couple near misses from putting up like 35 or 40 points. There were passes off the fingertips of Cooper Kupp, penalties. The Rams played a sloppy game and really helped out the Cardinals defense quite a bit. It wasn't the defense's worst performance of the season. That goes to the Kansas City game, but it wasn't great either. But my second observation is that the offense was the bigger problem. There were a ton of drop passes. The team couldn't get into the end zone. They did move the ball some and put up 12 points on field goals, but overall, the offense once again was slow and sluggish and anemic. And what's worse is the Rams were dealing with a lot of injuries at cornerback. They had 3 cornerbacks out with injury. Jalen Ramsey was healthy, and obviously we know how good he is. But the Cardinals should have been able to take advantage of all those backup cornerbacks that they were starting. But the offense couldn't do it. And this brings me to my third observation. The play calling was a problem. Going into this game, the Cardinals knew that the Rams were going to try to pressure Kyler Murray with Aaron Donald and the rest of the pass rushers on that defense. So when you have a game wrecker like Aaron Donald who's going to get to your quarterback and a defense that's missing some of their starting cornerbacks, you think that the Cardinals would have planned to have some quick passes to try to neutralize the pass rush while also taking advantage of the backup cornerbacks. But that's not what we saw early in the game. There were far too many plays where Kyler was sitting in the pocket waiting for routes to develop and Aaron Donald ended up getting to him. That just did not seem like an effective game plan. But it was more than just that. There was a 3rd and 4 play where Kyler Murray threw an intermediate pass to AJ Green who was covered by Jalen Ramsey. You'd think on 3rd and 4 they'd have something better in the playbook than throw it to the guy who's covered by Jalen Ramsey. Then they had that Wildcat trick play on 1st and goal where James Conner ended up losing 2 yards. Stop trying to be too cute. Give it to James Conner, let him run it up the middle, and do what he does well. It was 1st and goal. You had 3 shots at it, if not 4. Connor's gonna punch it in if you just keep going at it. Those were just some of the questionable play calls. And in the post-game press conference, Cliff Kingsbury said himself that they didn't call a good game. Unfortunately, this seems to be a weekly pattern. Something needs to change in the play call. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that there were a couple bright spots. Hollywood Brown and Greg Dortch both had good games. Brown had 14 receptions for 140 yards, and Dortch had 9 receptions for 80 yards. Dortch has been the Cardinals' most reliable receiver thus far, and it was nice to see them get Brown into the game more than they have in the past. But obviously that wasn't enough. My final observation is that the way they are playing is a bigger concern than the wins and losses. Losing to the Chiefs and the Rams isn't the end of the world. They are both good teams. But the way that the Cardinals are losing, starting slow and playing flat on offense, is a concern moving forward. And a defense that's struggling to get pressure on the quarterbacks with only 2 sacks thus far is also a concern moving forward. Now the Cardinals are approaching what's supposed to be one of the easier stretches in their schedule. They've got Carolina. Yeah, I know they've got our number, but that's a team the Cardinals should be able to beat. Philadelphia is a tough game, but after that they've got games against Seattle and New Orleans and Minnesota, all teams that are struggling. But if the Cardinals don't turn things around and get their offense going and they come out of that stretch with a losing record, this is going to be a long season for the Cardinals and for Cardinals fans. If you want more Arizona Cardinals content as well as other Arizona sports content, be sure you check out azsportsunderground.com. At azsportsunderground.com, you'll find articles from myself and other Arizona sports fans. Be sure to check it out. Also, please click like on this video and subscribe to the Cardinal Rule for more Arizona Cardinals content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Cardinal Rule.